Hi there, I'm attorney Jeff Luhrsen, and during this year's annual Giving Hunger the Blues event, my firm is sponsoring the kids area. So stop by and you'll find lots of family-friendly entertainment and lots of information about how to keep your kids safe. So please visit givinghungertheblues.org, and when you come to the event, stop by the Luhrsen Law Group booth and you'll find lots of information about how we keep your community safe through education and advocacy.
We have our patch, we have our badge, and that's all great, but we want to show the initiative between the police officers and the community. Once you work together, you're able to fight crime that much better.
It's the Chief's way of bringing the community together. It's her Blue+You initiative. We are very honored and grateful for the Luhrsen Group law firm that is sponsoring the event.
And we put a movie on outside. It's free. We have sponsors that want to help us. They come to us and say, can we give something? And so we give up gift bags to the community. They come in, they sit on our grassy lawn, and they watch a great movie outside underneath the stars.
And as you see, people from all over the community show up. We encourage kids, people with dogs. We're all dog lovers here. The Sarasota County Fire Department was gracious enough to show up and show off their fire truck. So it's a great way to spend a quality evening with your family for free and to show up and just involve the community with the police department.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Vice Mayor Suzanne Atwell. We're celebrating walking our kids to school in collaboration with Luhrsen Law Group to engage both Booker Middle and Booker Elementary to participate in International Walk to School Day,
which is a day designated to bring awareness to safe walking environments to school. And this is important because about 44 children get hit every day walking to school. So what we are trying to do is, first of all, raise some awareness to the safe environment so the children have the opportunities to walk, and then teach them how to walk safely to school. So for example, we are talking to them about looking left, right, and left, or not to be distracted while walking, looking for pedestrian crossings, watching out for cars. Make sure if you're passing in front of a car, look to the other side to make sure there's not another car coming.
The City Commission and the City of Sarasota, Florida, and on behalf of all the citizens of our great community, takes great pride in recognizing October 7, 2015 as International Walk to School Day, a day of special importance and worthy of the recognition of all the citizens of Sarasota. Thank you.
In order to have an effective coalition, you really need to know each other and see each other face to face on a regular basis. To see this fine group in action and knowing what you all are doing individually back in your home places to save lives and to make a difference.
Tons of things have been acceptable in our culture until we stopped accepting them, right? It's when people are in their car with somebody else, and they pull out their cell phone and the person they're with says, "Dude, what are you trying to kill me? Put that thing down."
That morning when he left, I was getting ready for work, and I remember I told him to be safe and that I loved him. I was actually about to go into a meeting that day, and my phone rang, and it was Melissa, and she was talking about, you know, this police officer who was at the door, and she was like, "Do you have any idea why?" And I said, I don't know. And I started to panic. I left the meeting. I walked outside and waited for the police to show up. And when they did, they sat me down. That's when they told me that Anthony had been involved in a traffic wreck and that he had been killed.
The Pediatric Association and the Family Practice Association identified within their organizations that teen crashes is the #1 cause of death of teens, and it's preventable.
So the I Promise campaign was really built to raise the level of community safety. It's not just that high schoolers take a pledge not to use their smartphones and drive. It's got to also be the parents. And if the parents get involved and the parents make a commitment that they're not going to use their devices while they're driving, and the high schoolers make that commitment that they're not going to use their device while they're driving, then the idea is that they can all hold one another accountable.
Thank you guys here for coming. This event is being hosted by Luhrsen Law Group.
Hi everybody, so I'm Jeff Luhrsen, and you can tell that I'm extremely young just by looking at me, so you probably want to know what I want to be when I grow up. Advocacy is what I want to be when I grow up.
When you really think about everything that was going on at that time, when that movie came out and the book was published, it was explosive.
This book is sort of the playbook of what values should be.
Scout says to her dad, you know, Daddy, everybody thinks you're wrong about the facts, everybody thinks you're wrong about the law, everybody thinks you're wrong about the morality, everybody just thinks you're wrong, wrong, wrong. And he said, you know what? There's at least one thing that will never abide by majority rule or anybody else's authority, and that's my conscience. A guy who truly was prepared to lose everything. And the last thing that made Atticus a hero to me is humility. He really was a servant. And to me, what summed up Atticus's humility and his servant's heart at the end of that trial, when he took whatever shred of credibility Bob Ewell had to begin with, Atticus took it from him, and Bob Ewell spit in his face in front of a whole crowd of people, and Atticus Finch took it. Why? Because him taking views from Bob Ewell probably saved Bob's wife and his children a beating. And if that was the price that had to be paid for it, that was what Atticus did, and that's humility, you know? Once that truth telling starts, it really doesn't ever stop. And it's just, that's a drum beat that's going to keep going. And I'm going to keep pounding that rock, and I'm not going to shut up about it. Thanks.
I'm Jeff Luhrsen, Luhrsen. I'm an entrepreneur and a lawyer. I help people with business relationships, formation, negotiation, dissolution, and litigation if it comes to that. Find me on the web at luhrsen.com. My name's Luhrsen, Luhrsen. You know, at our worst, lawyers can help people get away with things that they should never get away with. But at our best, lawyers can bring truth where there were only lies. So I don't know what your situation is, and I don't know what your legal troubles are, but I know this. If you're really serious about getting them solved, then you can call me. I'm trial attorney Jeff Luhrsen. You know, I never wanted to be just another lawyer. So I did an extra year of law school, and I studied nothing but trial law. Today, my firm tries to make our community safer. How? By representing victims of illegal behavior. Drunk drivers, texting drivers, physical abuse, sexual abuse. Call me at 957-4878 or Google Luhrsen. I've trained my whole life for this. Call me. You know, this kind of thing happens way too often. I'm attorney Jeff Luhrsen. If your teen's been injured in an alcohol-related incident of any kind, give me a call. Let's talk about it. Luhrsen Law Group, 941-957-HURT. Let's talk about it.
Dude, isn't your mom here?
Bro, don't worry about her, man. She's cool.
It's Carter's mom.
I don't even want to know what they're doing downstairs. All I know is they're here and they're safe.
You guys, it's the cops!
You know, this kind of thing happens way too often. I'm attorney Jeff Luhrsen. If your teen's been injured in an alcohol-related incident of any kind, give me a call. Let's talk about it.
You're driving down the road when you hear that familiar You just received a text message. Who's it from? Is it important? Almost everyone has been tempted to look at or even write a text while driving. After all, it doesn't take that long, right? Wrong. According to the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, reading or sending a text while driving 55 miles per hour takes your eyes off the road for 4.6 seconds. That's like driving the distance of a football field with your eyes closed. Text messaging while driving makes you 23 times more likely to be involved in a crash, yet almost half of smartphone users admit to doing it. In Florida, from 2010 through 2011, at least 85 fatal crashes were caused by distracted drivers. The state has more than 120,000 miles of roads used by more than 15 million drivers. And it's worse for teenagers. Distracted driving is one of the top causes of teen car crashes. 21% of fatal teen car crashes are caused because the driver was distracted by their phone. Even worse, 40% of teens say they have been in a car where the driver was using a phone. In October of 2013, it became illegal for anyone to text and drive in the state of Florida. Everyone. The law's ability to change driver behavior remains to be seen, however. In the meantime, to raise awareness and reduce preventable accidents, Luhrsen Law Group launched the I Promise campaign, designed to encourage teenagers to agree not to text and drive. Teens and their parents were asked to sign a pledge, and then were entered to win one of several $1,000 scholarships. The results were impressive. More than 400 teens signed the pledge and promised not to text and drive. So the Luhrsen Law Group is running the campaign again this fall. You can learn more about the I Promise campaign at their website, on Facebook, and of course, if you've been injured in a crash with a distracted driver, we're here to help. You can directly contact the Luhrsen Law Group by calling 941-803-TEXT. Get the message. Texting and driving don't mix. Non-attorney spokesperson.
My name is Demetrius Branca. My son Anthony was killed by a distracted driver. Please, as a parent, talk to your kids. Remind them of how dangerous this is. And if your kids aren't driving yet, tell them to speak up if they're in a car with a distracted driver. And as a parent, you should be setting the role model for your kids. That means put your phone away. That means don't let anything distract you from the most important thing that you're doing while you're driving, which is driving. Anthony can't be here to tell you, so I am.
Stop looking at a device like this as a harmless device, as a smartphone. Instead of looking at it that way, picture in your head a handgun. A handgun, if it's unloaded, it's not particularly dangerous. You take a live round, which is also not particularly dangerous, and you put it in that handgun, you marry those two things together, and you got something that's really, really dangerous. So you think about it this way. If you're in a vehicle with somebody and the driver of that vehicle takes out a handgun and takes out a live round and puts it in the chamber of that handgun, are you gonna keep your mouth shut?
It's like a loaded gun. I mean, you just don't know who you're gonna kill. It's a matter of time. You don't know who. And so the message is for anyone, whether you are the person driving or whether you're the person in the passenger seat or in the back seat. Everyone needs to be aware of just how dangerous this is so we can all speak up and tell the driver, hey, put that down. Avoid this tragedy yourself. Tell your kids to put the phone away. Do it yourself. And if you're in a car with someone who's driving distracted, speak up. Tell your kids to speak up. And together we can end this. Together we can make sure that this doesn't happen to anybody else.